G'day guys, we're out at 4x4 Obsession today, the preferred workshop for all of us here at 4Wheel Drive TV. Our 80 is inside getting a little bit of work done to it. Let's go and have a chat with Brett, the owner, and see where things are at. Brett, how you going?
How you going, mate?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Great to see the 80.
Yeah, you come and have a look at what we've done.
I have. Now, the last trip that it went on down in Tassie, you copped a bit of a hiding. I had a bit of a list of things that I'd picked up on. We're about to go on another trip. How's she looking?
A bit of a hiding, understatement. But we've pretty much covered everything on your list. So I'll take you to the front of the car, we'll start there and I'll show you what we've done.
Awesome.
Okay, so first up, Danny, the winch. I've been out in the last few trips with you. The 80 is getting a little bit heavy.
It is.
So even though the Mean Mother 9.5 does its job really well, Mean Mother decided to give us just that little bit of extra scope. They've given us a 12,000 pound edge winch to put on in place of it, just to make sure that it's not running at its limits. We've upgraded the radiator. It's now a copper 3-core, and we've put a colder thermostat in because I know, especially off-road, that the temperatures on the LSs can get up a little bit. So to bring that down, the combination of the radiator and the colder thermostat should help out a lot.
Well, that all sounds great, Brett, and that should keep things a bit cooler under the bonnet too.
Definitely, and especially off-road and low range where it's really working, it's really going to help with the temperatures. We'll lift the car up now and I'll run you through everything underneath. Just quickly taking the wheel off for you, Danny, so you can actually have a look at these terrain tamer brakes.
Yep.
These are the high performance discs. So as you can see, they're cross-drilled and slotted, which will allow for dissipation of heat a bit better, and the matching pads. We've also done the wheel bearings in the front where we've had it apart, obviously because we've got to pull all that off to change these brakes anyway. So all the wheel bearings have been done, all new terrain tamer brakes, high performance, and the brakes. That should give you a lot more stopping power with the LS, or the power of the LS. So it's a really, really good upgrade.
And I know the brakes did cop a bit of a flog, and we did a lot of mud down in Tassie, and sand and beach and water, and yeah.
They did, and I'll show you an example of what we found in a second with the handbrake. We've replaced the rotors again on the rear with the new high performance ones, even though you did have the terrain tamer high performance before. These are actually a different high performance, or an upgrade again. But I'll run you through what we found with the handbrake. And I think even you would be able to pick out what's wrong with this picture.
There's a bit of material. There's a little bit of material left on them.
A little bit of material left on there.
I did know the handbrake wasn't really very effective, but I didn't know it was that bad.
No, well, they should have about 3 mil of material on that. It's one of the problems with the Toyota brake system, that the handbrake runs inside the disc. Yep. And when you go into mud and sand, it gets inside there, becomes abrasive, turns into a grinding compound basically, and takes all the material off really quickly. So it's really important when you do these trips that when you come back, that you actually pull the rear rotors off and have a look and make sure that there is no grit in there. Otherwise, this is what happens. But the other byproduct of this is new discs, because where this runs on the inside here has been metal on metal. So the disc itself was fine, but the surface that the handbrake runs on is completely chewed out. And also, Danny, while we had the car in here, we realised that the clutch was actually starting to stick. So we decided, while it's here, we'll pull the box out, have a look at what's going on. It can only get worse. We found that the clutch release bearing, or thrust bearing, was actually sticking to the sleeve. So decided rather than just replace the bearing, we'll replace the clutch. This is actually a custom clutch. So after going backwards and forwards a little bit, we come up with a clutch that we think is going to really hold the power of the LS and the weight of the car a lot better. Yep. So they actually had this built for you by Exceedy, so it's a one-off.
Terrain tamer, but a custom clutch. Awesome.
Okay, we've machined the flywheel, so very important, make sure you machine the flywheel. Whenever you change a clutch, machine the flywheel, otherwise you'll shorten the life of the clutch really, really quickly. So, but the clamping pressure on this clutch should see you out for a long, long time.
Awesome, just stay away from the mud.
Just stay away from the mud. So while we had the gearbox out for the clutch, Danny, I spoke to Jackie and Brian at 360, knowing you had the tow pack gearbox already in there that we put in a few years ago for you. They decided they'd like to upgrade the 5th gear to the modified 5th gear for you. So we sent the gearbox back to 360, they've pulled it apart, they've had a look in it. They were really happy with the wear and tear of the gearbox. But as I said, we've upgraded the 5th gear to their new upgraded system. So on the highway, that's going to drop your RPM by 200 to 300 RPM again. This is really going to suit your vehicle with the gear ratios, the tyre size that you're running. It's going to make it a lot nicer to drive on the highway.
Wonderful.
So Danny, that's everything we've done on the 80 that I can run you through at the moment, or that we can see. But I couldn't help notice the box of lights here. Early Christmas present for me?
No.
No, damn.
I just thought, while it's in here, any chance you can throw them on for me?
Yeah, no dramas. I think we can organise that for you.
The new LED system, looking forward to seeing how they go on the next trip.
So Danny, that's about all I can show you with the 80 at the moment.
Fantastic. Thanks, Brett. Thanks to you and the team at 4x4 Obsession, all the work that you guys always do. Brett, I just can't wait to be back in our 80.